Hello everyone, this Hello everybody, this is Melinda Roy. Welcome to day 2 WYN Womenium Summit. So we are here. So Natalie Clayton is here in Dubai. So she's starting this session in 5 minutes. So we will live stream that session to you. So you can have a look, and you can, if you have any questions, you can post in the messages tab. Thank you. And after that, you can have your lunch after Natalie's session. Thank you so much. Have a great day. So So I am back. So meanwhile, so I will play the beautiful introduction video of Natalie Clayton. Can you hear the voice? Can you hear the noise over here? So woman, the powerful woman, strong woman over here. We are in Dubai, so we are enjoying with the wonderful presentations here. So before Natalie start the session, so I will play the beautiful introduction video of us. Yeah, you keep it. You are nice, but keep it. She said, look, she's okay. She said, you're nice, but keep it.
స్టార్ట్ చేసింది ఇప్పుడు సెషన్ నువ్వేం మాట్లాడకు ఇది నీది
Natalie J. Clayton.
ఖాళీగా ఉంది అంటే ఇది స్ట్రీమ్ చేద్దాము
ఇది ఇంట్రడక్షన్ వీడియో.
వర్చువల్ అందరూ అయిపోయినారు వన్ వర్క్ ఏం లేవు
do? Travel, spend time with family, right? So make sure you go to globalwomentravel.com, Global Women Travel, right? And what we're going to do is we're going to give out some amazing certificates because when people partner with us,
today we have Dr. Tina D. Lewis in Dubai, the brand ambassador, the global ambassador. With WYN conferences. So we are so honored to be here in Dubai physically. Yeah, thank you so much. So
thank you. You know what? Misfortune, so she's not here. So what I can say with respect to her wishes is to just keep her in prayer. Her and her family is really important right now. It's really important right now to keep her in her family. She is my right hand, my left hand. Her and Melinda are amazing to me. They work hard. And Shruti was supposed to be here, but she had a misfortune. So if you can do me a favor and just send positive energies, prayers, she welcomes those with all sincerity. So I wanted to share that because I feel that we're family. The Global Women's Week, that's what we do. We're transparent. And WYN supports us 1,000%. They have conferences once every 4 months.
yes,
And we will make sure that we're there. We will make sure that we support. We're implementing an infrastructure,
yes.
and it's going to be explosive. And so, for those of you who are new to WYN, new to the conferences, it's going to get better every single time. And there's something about being a part of the beginning, right? Most people want to come when everything is perfect, but I'm telling you, if you hear the words that are coming outside of my mouth, being a part of the beginning is very powerful because you'll be able to pick your spot. You'll be able to do a lot of different things. I'm not going to spill the beans yet, but there's some things that are happening, and we're just looking for loyalty, right? We're looking for faithfulness. We're looking for, the people that are not the complainers, but people who help solve problems and have suggestions and are open to being flexible. So with that said,
And Dr. Tina, we do have an upcoming event in Paris.
Paris!
Paris!
I love it. She's so cute. You guys give Melinda a round of applause.
Thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
so we can't take it lightly that, we did travel for all of us. We traveled from the States. We traveled, wow, where did you come from?
Dominican Republic.
Yes, Dominican Republic. And they came from India. Wow. They still had to travel. It's still a 4 or 5 hour flight. And some of them were not expected to be here because Shruti was going to be here, but they stepped in. Yes. And that's what I love about the Indian culture is togetherness. We don't care who gets the credit as long as the work gets done. And I would like for all of us to embrace that. And so that's enough, okay? Let's give away these awards. All the mushiness we can do later, but we want to share that. So without further ado, the first certificate goes to
Anel. So Dr. Tina Lewis, yes, you can. Sorry.
It's okay, no problem.
Aww.
So wait, hold on a second. Do me a favor. I want that cut out. I don't want it. Okay. That's edited. And we don't need all of it.
Thank you.
Wait, we're gonna start over. Have a seat. Really quick, please. We're gonna know what you coming up. So you have, there you go. Yeah. Here you go. And now start over. Yes. Thank you. Okay. And now call her up and then we can give it to her.
So yeah. So let's call Anil to the stage.
Yes.
So this is your certificate of participation with WYN conferences. Thank you.
Turn it, take a photo.
Yeah. Thank you, wonderful. I'm so happy and honored to be here.
Before you finish, we have one more thing for you.
Yeah.
Yes. She also gets a certificate of an international speaker. Wow. And so it's been an honor to have you. If you missed the now speech yesterday, I'm going to encourage you to make sure that you find her on YouTube, on her social media platform, and most importantly, on the WYN channel. because she
Right.
definitely will be there. She's going to have an interview today that's going to be on
Oh,
YouTube.
wonderful,
And so we thank
wonderful.
you for becoming an
Thank
international
you,
speaker,
Tina.
and we thank you for your participation on behalf of WYN Conferences, Watch Your Network, and on behalf of Global Women
Oh,
Speakers. We thank
And
you.
adding to this, Tina, she loves jewelry. So if you want to buy this, so you can visit her Facebook
Dominic,
page.
it's a
This is her.
company
Dominic.
needs to be discovered again.
Yes, I
Yes.
agree. Well, thank you
So
for being
thank you so much.
And thank you.
So I'm very honored to spread here my words, not only from the Dominican Republic, but really from my heart. So this is the time where we need to share because the world is transforming into the better world. Thank you.
Okay. And what we would like
ఇప్పుడు
is for
This makeup, a self-foaming cleanser,
కానీ స్లోగా వస్తుంది ఉంటుంది రైట్
mascara, lash enhancing, and I need this. Truly need that. Sunscreen, Pitch Blossom.
because if you're going to be
What's
in
that?
Dubai, we need sunscreen, right?
Oh,
It's 80,
definitely.
90 degrees.
Yes. Calvin Klein glasses.
Yes.
Wait a minute. And Nine West. So in case I lose one, I have another.
చూడండి
A mask,
Facial mask.
facial mask.
బెటర్ కొంచెం
A sachet with blended berries. No, this is a tea bath.
Yes.
Oh, I got a nice
And it smells so good. There is, I mean, it's a wonderful tub in the room.
బ్రో దీనికి పెట్టేస్తా తన మైక్ ఇందాక ఏంటి? ఇంకా పెట్టలేదు, పెడతా. దీనికి పెట్టేస్తా, దీని నుంచి వాయిస్ వస్తుంది. ఇంకో చెప్పమా, వాయిస్ వస్తుందా? నాది స్పీకర్ పెట్టినాము. ఓకే, మ్యూట్ చేస్తా చూడు. చూడు, వాయిస్ వస్తుందా? స్లో వస్తుంటుంది.
Are you guys enjoying yourself? Like,
వస్తుందా?
are you guys enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying the WYN conference?
సరే.
I don't know about you, but I'm having an absolute blast. And I want to encourage you that no matter where you go, always
Okay,
create an
Naipudu.
experience, right? And it's not always about
యాక్చువల్గా
what
అది
you get
స్పీకర్
from
ఉంది,
something.
దీని
Sometimes
దగ్గర
it's
ఇంకోటి
what you
ఉంది.
give. And the conference needs you just as much as you need the conference. You want the visibility, you want the credibility, you want the global platform, but we also need you to be present. Not just us. Remember, what one person does affects everyone. And no one wants to speak to an empty room. So if you can be mindful of your colleagues, because we're professional colleagues. There's no little I and big U is none of that. We're all one.
హలో,
And so if you can stay,
ఇప్పుడు
you
వస్తుందమ్మా?
we'll be done by 1:30 for a lunch, and then you
సరే.
can go
అవి
do,
మైకులు
tour
వీళ్ళు
Dubai,
తీసుకోవట్లేదు అనమాట.
enjoy the world.
సో అందుకని
But this
ఒకసారి
is
వాయిస్
day
వెళ్ళిపోతుంది.
2 of the WYN conference. And I'm
Sir.
stoked out of my mind that
ఓకే.
what we have in the future. Like I'm telling you, Paris is going to be no joke. The things that we did with global women speakers in regards to, they got picked up from the airport in a Rolls Royce. I'm saying that's they got picked up from the airport in a Rolls Royce and excursions every single day, gifts and a plethora of other things. And so we want to make sure that you're in Paris because it only can get better. But being a part, you guys, of WYN at the beginning, just trust me, I wouldn't be here if it was just a flim flam. There is growth. There's major potential for everybody. Just be patient, bring your best, and just know that I just know that there's a reward coming along the path. And there's tons of people that are coming out of India. Everyone's starting conferences. That's just happening. During the pandemic, everyone needed to make money. So people started hustling. Whatever it was we all did, we found another stream of income. Because at first, having an additional stream of income, right, Donna, was a luxury, but now it's a necessity, right? It's a necessity. And so those that can adapt and be fluid, those are the ones that are surviving. But I know people who are physicians, I know people who are chiropractors, I know people who are extremely successful business people that are going to get regular jobs because they need to subsidize that income. The price of gas is no joke. no matter if you're a manufacturer, it takes a barge to come over to bring pieces to build cars. You know, cars are on back order. There was a negotiation at one time of the sticker prices. That's not happening anymore. And so I want us to be mindful of what's going on in the world. Because it's not about who's in the White House, it's about who's in our house. And I challenge each and every one of us to create our own economy, that no matter what happens in the economy, that we will not be moved, that we will be steadfast, immovable. Steadfast, immovable, because we have already prepared. My uncle was in a Marine, he said, Tina, the 6 P's of success is proper planning prevents piss poor performance. Proper planning prevents piss poor performance. And I used to say whatever, I was young, he just told me that all my life, and then I realized he's absolutely correct. So if we plan for a depression, if we plan for a recession, if we plan for a block in the road, if we plan for an emergency, if we plan for our future, we'll be in a better place to help other people, but most importantly, to give a message. Donna could not have done that incredible job talking about faking it if she wasn't broke and didn't say, you know what, I have to fix me before I can fix other people. Because you can't give what you don't have. You can't lead where you've never been. You can't teach what you don't know. And so I am in just humble gratitude about the women online and offline that have shared their gifts. And like I said, they can easily charge money for it. Easily. Easily. Like if you're online and you're watching this, I pray that you are in your home, not multitasking, that you are saying, this is a university, I'm in class. Because you won't get this again, right? Until there's another event. But the caliber of speakers that have been here yesterday and today are bar none the very, very best. And I say that without regret, without hesitation. And so for those of you who are here, as I mentioned, if you can just stay until 1:30, that would be great. We have 4 more speakers come up, including myself. And can we please, you guys, like Shri, Melinda, Rosie, like they have done an incredible job. They are so humble, you guys. We're not They came in and during the night while we were sleeping or flying, they were setting up the room in the middle of the night, and they went to bed and they got 3 hours sleep. But they didn't complain, they didn't tell anybody but me. And they got up and just did it again and again and again, every day. And I'm like, no, rest.
With a smile.
Yes, yes. When you say that, you wouldn't even know. Look at her, still smiling. And they're amazing. That's our tech guy. He doesn't talk a lot, you guys, but he's incredible. Like when we're in our private meetings, he talks a lot. But when he's around a lot of people, he doesn't talk a lot. And this, come here. Like he's a mess. You guys, I'm like, put your mask down. Isn't he so handsome? This is Shirley's best friend. They are amazing. And so he has joined the team, and I'm super excited to have him. He's social media, SEO. We're going to do some crazy things because if you don't know anything about the Indian people, they are geniuses. They are hard workers. Their culture, their food is absolutely incredible. So I just want to say shukriya.
Thank you.
That means thank you in Hindi. So I want you guys to take that shukriya. Can we all say shukriya? Shukriya. 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 Yes, we thank you guys so much. Okay, without further ado, enough of that. Thank you for everything. They're amazing. Okay, so can we cut so I can look at this because I don't want to read.
Radio again.
Yes, I want to get this. I don't like reading. I don't have paper there. Or maybe I can have one of these blackboards. Make it classy. Yeah. Yeah, like make my own podium. This is official podium.
Melinda.
No.
So you should know that.
Right.
Indian culture is part of my heritage.
Sorry, Mali.
I think we're good with that.
Okay, no.
I think it's
Oh, thank you.
యాక్చువల్‌గా నైట్ ఒకటి అసలు నువ్వు మాట్లాడుతుంటే గట్టిగా మాట్లాడొచ్చు కదా. మా హాస్టల్‌లో కూడా వినిపియట్లేదు.
బట్ అది వాగినట్టయితే నేను మాట్లాడిన శ్రీకాంత్ అంత బర్రెగా తీసుకుంటాను.
ఇప్పుడు టీనా మాట్లాడేది ఎట్లా వినిపిస్తుంది? మైక్ చూడు, స్పీకర్ ఉంది కానీ టీనా మాట్లాడేది మాట్లాడాలి. పోస్ట్ అంటే ఎట్లా మాట్లాడాలి?
అంత గట్టిగా అది ప్రాక్టీస్ ఉండాలి శ్రీకాంత్. అది 30 ఏళ్ళ నుంచి
All
ప్రాక్టీస్.
right, ready for Natalie?
ఎస్.
Let me get my jacket up. Oh, that's the first thing. Those are not ours. Okay, perfect. How did you get that?
డ్రెస్ అడ్జస్ట్ చేసుకుంటున్నాను.
Perfect. Yes, it's so cute. Okay. OMG. You know what that stands for? That's like an acronym for oh my gosh. And the G, you can put whatever word you want. I'm gonna say oh my gosh. I get the honor, the absolute pleasure of introducing our next speaker. Now, this lady is very special. She belongs to all the high caliber organizations. She lives in California, so she loves sunny weather. So she's having a blast here in Dubai. Did I say we're in Dubai? Did I say Dubai? Can you guys say Dubai?
Dubai.
And so for those of you who are listening, either online, on social media, or simply here in Dubai, you're going to hear from a young lady who is an extremely successful entrepreneur. She is a personal development. Do we need personal development? How many of you love personal development? Right? Yes. Tony Robbins, Eric Thomas, Lisa Nichols, Dr. Tina D, right? Natalie, right? Donna, Dr. Jack, Dr. Vanessa, Jacqueline, Cynthia, all of those people, all those famous people, right, are personal development. She's a personal development coach, and her company is called Tilt Synergy. I like that, Tilt Synergy. She helps individuals, literally, listen, individuals that has experienced a recent life, wow. If anyone have an obstacle, a hindrance, a setback, well, you want to pay attention. And I don't say that lightly. You want to be glued to the screen. Because Natalie Clayton is going to deliver, she's going to actually teach you how to awaken the leader within. She wrote a book. She's also an author, a mom, serial entrepreneur. And so her book is called Your Amazing Itty Bitty Awaken the Leader Within. 15 steps to shine your light. Anyone feel that their light has been dimmed? Does anyone feel that their light has been dimmed at any time? Yeah. Has the pandemic set you off? Have anyone, maybe gained a little weight, lost some revenue, broken relationships, anything like that? I don't know about you, but I have had all of the above. Right? Absolutely. I've had all. I've had all of the above. And so in this itty bitty book, we're going to learn how to shine our light by simply awakening the leader within. And I believe that we all have a leader within us. We all have a leader within us. What we're looking for is already on the inside of us. And so Natalie Clayton is going to show us how to shine our light. So without further ado, I'm going to dim my light and bring Natalie Clayton to the stage. Natalie. Yeah. Wow. Thank you for writing this. This is amazing. I have one question. May I have it? May I have it? These
So thank you so much for having me here. I am coming to you live from Dubai. And so today I'm going to talk to you about awaken the leader within, how to move out of your foxhole. Your foxhole can be anything. It can be death. It can be divorce. It can be a health issue, losing your job. It can be things that keep you stuck in your metaphor foxhole. But I'm going to give you some tools today of how to step into a life of freedom, to be freedom and empowered, or expansion. So I have a daughter. Her name is Natasha. She's 36. I have 2 sons. If you know my sons. Namar, 33, and Nigel, 31. So I was a super mom. I walked around with an S on my chest until my kids transitioned to college, and I was an empty nest. Woo-hoo! Have you guys experienced that? I was living the life. I was living the life. Yes, my kids are out. And then the unthinkable happened. My oldest son, Lamar, was in a horrible, horrible accident. He was a pedestrian hit by a large party bus, and he was critically injured, trauma. And they didn't think that he would make it. And I never forget the phone call that I received from my daughter. It was in the middle of the night. I was in Northern California at the time, and Lamar was in Hollywood. He was going to school in LA. And my daughter called me, and she goes, "Mom, Lamar he was hit by a bus." And they said, "I got 5 minutes to get to the hospital, and he's not going to make it." So if you can imagine how that feels as a mother, I couldn't get on my plane. I couldn't get down to LA. And all I did was get on my knees and pray. So when I made it to LA the next day, I made it to the hospital, and my son he had just tubes coming out of every part of his body. And I just remember my heart sank. I remember feeling in that sunken place. I was just sunk in, my heart was broken. And I remember looking at him, I was just like, "Oh my God, my son," and I'm thinking like, how did we get here? But what I decided to do was to go up to my son and whisper in his ear, "Namar," and he was kind of alert. He was heavily sedated because he had massive, massive injuries to his body. And I said, "Do you know that you are a child of the living King, the living God?" And he managed to open his eyes a little bit, and he nodded his head. And I was like, that's the confirmation that I needed. And so the fight was on. The game was on. So in life, transitions and transformations are both interchangeable. A transition is a period of changing from one state or condition to another. My son was a healthy athlete. He was athletic, young, but here he was in a hospital. Tubes coming out of his body. A transformation is a dramatic change from one way of being to another. Sorry for that. You can go to the next slide. So this is my son and myself. This is 4 months post his accident. As you can see, my son had a trach. He had a feeding tube. But when the storms of life comes, it's not how you get out of that storm, it's how you dance in the storm. So we decided to dance in that storm. We decided to dance in the rain. And it's a picture we were looking at each other and we were smiling. And then that's my son when he was able to go outside. He was in a wheelchair, still wasn't, able to go home yet, but there he is. He's there, and in the process of getting out of that foxhole that we all were as a family. So I'm going to talk to you today about the tools that you need to get out of the transitions of life, whatever that may be, your foxhole, and into a life of freedom and abundance and power. So the first A is acknowledging. So acknowledging the word, if you look it up, it says you recognize the existence in truth or in fact. And so self-actualization, you have to know who you are. I think Donna mentioned that in her talk earlier. and your ability to tap into a higher power and your inner strength are crucial steps. My higher power is God. So whatever your higher power is, some people say it's the universe, whatever it may be, mine is God. But it's crucial steps that you're able to tap into that higher power. And when you understand the power that you have within, the power of God and the power of prayer, you can be unstoppable. You have to own that power. You can be unstoppable. And you can thrive in any situation and circumstances. It doesn't matter. Next slide, please. And then the other A is awareness. Awareness. The definition for that is a state or condition of being aware, your consciousness, being alert, having the authority over your mindset. And awareness has four parts. So awareness is, number one, is being aware of the process. So we all have a process that we go through. When we go through different stages, different transitions of life, it's a process. It's like the caterpillar. When it processes, it knows it's a larva, then it develops into a caterpillar, and it crawls the way up, and then it goes into its little cocoon, and then it turns into a butterfly. So it's a process. But you have to be aware of that process that you're in. And the second one is being aware of how you feel. Now, I can't sit up here and tell you that there was times I didn't want to cry. There were times I didn't want to, I felt like, why is this happening to us? There were times when I felt completely overwhelmed, but I was aware of those feelings. And then the second one is aware of your authority from God. I mentioned that earlier. Your authority from God and the power of prayer. There is power in prayer. And then the last part is the awareness of your thought process and words that you speak, because words are spiritual. Words, you speak words, they go into the universe. Whatever you speak always come back to you. So words are very, very powerful. So my son, after my son was in the hospital for 10 months. Yeah, 10 months. And at that time, he had 38 surgeries. So he had surgeries 3 times a week. And there I was with my son, praying over him, being there, being with my son, the 38 surgeries, and not knowing whether or not he was going to live or die every day for 10 months. But I knew that he would, but you still had that, it was still that, okay, your son Lamar he has all these infections, we don't know, it was all these different things every day. It was just continuous, but I stayed faithful in my faith and my trust in God. And that's my son. That's who he is today. While he's driving his car, being cool. So after 6 months of my son being released from the hospital, and we were trying to get our lives together, he was still in the healing process. I was diagnosed with stage 3 colon cancer. It was a very aggressive cancer. That was my thought. What? Wow. I missed a part. My husband at the time, it was my second marriage, decided that he wanted me to choose between being a wife versus trying to help my son heal and recover. So that marriage ended in divorce. And so my son had his surgery, we were trying to get our lives back on track, recently divorced, and then I get a diagnosis of stage 3 aggressive colon cancer. And I thought, what? I'm like, wait a minute, this is somebody else. And so, again, I had to sit back, breathe for a moment, think about, okay, what is it that I want? What is it that I truly want? I wanted to live, I wanted to survive. So the 2 A's that came in, acknowledging my power and my awareness of who I am, that's all I need to know. And next slide, please. I had to take action. So your action is an active word, right? So action is an act that one consciously wills that may be physical activity, exertion of power or force, or mental energy, activity, or influence. So if you just think about that for a minute, you have to have the right energy, you have to have the right mindset, you have to have, and then you have to do the work in order for you to reach the end goal in mind. My end goal in mind was for me to be healed and to be whole and to be complete. And then at the same time, I was taking care of my son. So my faith really, really had to kick in. I've gone over here, going through chemo, doing this. I also went through a holistic practitioner. That was my action. That was my choice. I went completely against what my oncologist told me, but I decided to take action. So when you take action, you have to be bold, and you have to walk in your belief. You have to walk in your faith and walk in your truth. And so despite what my doctor told me, I'm like, sorry, this is who I am, and this is what I'm going to do, and I'm going to be healed. You also have to learn to be assertive and confident. You have to walk in resilience through the storms in your life to overcome, succeed anything in your life. And whatever you think you are, you are. So if you think that, okay, I got this diagnosis, you're going to do that, you'll do that. If you think you're going to be healed and you think you're going to be whole, then you will be healed and whole. You have the power to manifest whatever it is that you want to show up in your life. I call it the laws of cause and effect. So whatever is internally in you is going to show up externally. And that's in any area of your life. True. Any area of your life. So you really have to be conscious about the things that happen in our lives. Like we have all experienced COVID, 2.5 years now. You can't let the circumstances or the situations dictate what your outcome is. You have to know within your heart, within your soul, within your spirit, what your outcome is going to be. That doesn't mean that you're not going to feel like, oh my God, why is this happening? Or you want to pull your hair out. But you have to stay focused on yourself and what you know is to be true. There were times I felt like that. But I never showed it. I never showed it to my son. I just was like, this can't be happening. So I don't know if any of you guys have had cancer, but when you get cancer and you go through chemo, my hands are black. Some of you have them black. My hands are black. A lot of my feet were black. I couldn't eat. When I ate food, I felt like I was swallowing glass. It was one of the most challenging things in my life. But I didn't look at it as, why me, why me? I'm like, I'm going through this with God. We are going right through this with God. And when I first was diagnosed, I used to never mention the word cancer. I used to say I had the C word, because I didn't want to give it power. I said, well, the C word. Yeah, I got the C word. But now, today, God told me to say, you have cancer, it's okay, because we got through this together. And what I went through in my life, I hope that I can help other people to understand that you can get through this, not only this, but my son's trauma. My son had trauma, I had, my cancer. And then this lady at my church, years ago, she said, you know what? It's going to be revealed to you why you got colon cancer. I was like, whatever. I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about. Okay, that S kicked on my chest again. And so, sure enough, when I was going through my holistic practitioner, there was a woman there who was giving a massage. So after the chemo, I would go and have a massage and detox, try to make sure that the chemo would be detox and release from your body. And so one day, she was giving me a massage, and she said, do you know where your colon is at? And I said, yeah. And I kind of knew what she was doing with this, and I had this premonition already. And she said, your colon is a holding tank. It holds stuff. She said, you've been holding on to some stuff, and you need to forgive. But you cut that cancer out of your colon. And so I remember when she told me that, all I could do, I was crying. Because I knew that there were some things in my life that I needed to forgive. There were some things in my life that I needed to release. Forgiveness. Remember I told you I was that Superman with that S on my chest? I was mad. I didn't think I was mad at my ex-husband, but I was. I had this, even though I wanted to be the best for my kids and do all that and be super, because I grew up in a 2-parent home. I didn't grow up with parents who were divorced, so I wanted to overcompensate for my children. But at the same time, I was upset. You know, when I thought I could forgive my ex-husband, I didn't. So I had to go through a process of unpeeling onion layers in my life to help me get to a place of forgiveness and wholeness. Faith. Faith is an action word. I spoke about it earlier. You have to have faith and work. You can't have work without faith. You can't have faith without work. I'm gonna go back to my son when he was in the hospital. There was a doctor, this is like probably 3 months my son was in the hospital. He's a renowned doctor. So every day he would come in and he's like, oh my God, Amara, his soul is, he's not gonna make it. And I'm like, wait, what? You know, he's like, it says his tissues are bad. Oh, it's this bad, it's so bad, it's so bad, it's so bad. And I'm like, so I used to have my Bible out. And so one day I sat down and I looked at him, his name is Dr. Tenenhouse. I said, Dr. Tenenhouse, you are gifted to do the work. We are gonna stand on the word of God. You do the work and we stand on faith. Faith and work. And he looked at me like, who is this little woman? Who does she think she is coming here talking to me? I'm a renowned doctor. Who does she think she is? And I just like, you know, God help me. And so the following week, like I mentioned before, my son was having surgery 3 times a week. And the following week, my son had surgery and he came back and he goes, your son's tissue, it's alive. It's alive, it's pink. I believe. Well, I get this. Faith and work. I'm like, you get it. Faith and work. Work. So faith is your ability to see success before it happens. Faith thrives in uncertainty. Whenever you feel uncertain, you need to kick in that faith. Faith is like Wi-Fi, right? We know it's around.
Bit louder.
Can you please increase your voice?
Virtual speakers can't hear.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. So,
Wait, let's pause. We have a cord.
It's working here.
Oh, no, let's switch.
Yeah. Just bit louder. Just
Is it
bit.
her voice or is it?
It is reachable but low. So you just speak bit loud.
okay.
Just a little louder.
Okay, I'm jet lagged, yes. So, okay, so I'll go back. So faith, okay, so faith is an action word. You can't have work without faith. You can't have faith without work. They go hand in hand. So when my son was in the hospital and he was having surgeries 3 times a week, and the doctor, who's a renowned surgeon, Dr. Tenenhouse, I'm throwing one of the bus. He would come in and he was like, oh, Namaris, his body, I don't know what we're gonna do, we're running out of options. And I used to just look at him like, what? He goes, we're running out of options, and you know, people in Africa have these different types of worse injuries than your son, and they make it. And I'm like, wait, stop. So I have my Bible open. It was in the book of Hebrews. I said, you know what? Faith and work goes hand in hand. God has gifted you with the work. You do your work, and I'll stand on God's word. Faith and work, go do your work. And he looked at me like, who is this little woman talking to me like this? And so following week later, my son had surgery, again, the 3 surgeries a week. And he came back and his Lamar's tissue is pink, it's alive. Faith and work, right? That's it, faith and work. So anyway, can you go back? Yes, thank you. So faith thrives in uncertainty. It's like Wi-Fi. It's invisible, but it's there. Just chew on that for a minute. You know, you're always searching for Wi-Fi. We came in here, we were searching, oh, I know it's here. There's no difference in faith. You can't see it, but it's happening. You can count on it. Faith and belief is a strong force of positive energy that happens in your mind, but is created in your spirit. I was listening to a sermon from Bishop Jakes last week, and he did an analogy of the same thing. He had a person who was representing the spirit. He had a person that was representing our soul, which is our mind, and then our body. And everything starts in your spirit first, and then it filters down to your mind. Sometimes our mind gets in the way, with doubt and insecurities and all those different things, and then your body receives it. So faith and belief gives you the synergy. Get it? My company is called Tilt Synergy. And the power to elevate yourself to the next level, whatever that level may be. It may be healing. It may be you want to be a successful entrepreneur. You want to get married again. Whatever it may be, whatever your vow is, faith will get you there. So this was one of my favorite stickers. One of my dear friends, she competed in the Ironman triathlon. I happened to be there, and I saw that sticker that spoke to me so well. So life is one big transition, but the transitions get you to the transformation. So the Ironman represents a swimmer, a runner, and someone, a cyclist and a runner. And so in one day, people who participate in the Ironman have to do all of those events consecutively. So I like to look at this as life. You don't know what your transition is going to be. We transition from age, we were teenagers, we turned our 20s, 30s, 50s. That's a transition, right? You work 20, 30 years and you transition to retirement. You work for your company and you transition to being an entrepreneur. You're a mother, you're empty nester, all those different things. But here's the deal. When you go through your transitions in life, I want you to look at these symbols as a swimmer. Now, sometimes you may be swimming in choppy waters. The waters may be choppy. You may feel like the water's going to overcome you, but you keep swimming. You keep swimming to get to the other side. The second one is a bike ride. I'm a cyclist, so I bike ride. I can relate to this very much. You're on your bike, you're riding your bike. Sometimes the winds are so fierce, you feel like you're going to get knocked off your bike, but you stand on that bike, you're in your race. No matter what, you stand, you're pedaling because you're trying to get to your destiny. The last one is a runner. I was a runner too, so I can relate. You have to run your race, no matter what. You run your race and you complete your race. You get to your destination. Whatever that destiny is for you, you stay in the race. Stay in the game, stay in your race. My book is titled Awaken the Leader Within. I love this picture because it says in so many different ways that you can look at this and you can take away from this, right? So you have to shift your mindset and move forward. So you see all these matches here? They stayed, right? They stayed in the same framework, same mindset. One decided, ooh, I'm gonna drop down. I'm gonna do something different because I'm gonna save myself. Sometimes in life you have to move. You may need to drop down. You may need to pop up, but you have to move. If you stay in that same position, the same mindset, the same emotions, the same feelings, you will get burned. Next slide, please. So, my book. I wrote this book. Someone asked me the other day, why did you write this book? I wrote it during COVID. It took me 4 years to write this book, but when COVID happened, I was looking at all this darkness. I was looking at all of the dysfunctions that were going on globally. And so I sat down and I took the time to write this book to try to help people to see the leader within yourself. If you can't lead yourself, you're not able to lead others. We saw that in every area of life. COVID happened. We all were born with a light inside of us. I don't care what your religious beliefs are. I don't care who you follow. We all are born with a light. But sometimes in life, you get dull, right? There's things that weigh you down. I call it the metaphor foxhole. So I just gave you a couple of 3 tips. I call it the triple A's. Sometimes the triple A's can be 4 A's, it just depends, of how you can elevate yourself and move out of your metaphoric foxhole. So if you have extenuating circumstances that are weighing you down, then the wait is over. The wait is over. I have tips that will help you empower yourself in this book, 15 steps. And my book, I wrote it to help you transform your life and help elevate you to a life that you have dreamed about, a life that you desire, or if you're going through certain issues in your life and you need you need something to just give you that push, you'll find it in this book. Next slide, please. So here's my QR code. My book costs $20, and if you sign a card and you're interested in having this book, I will personally autograph it for you. And my complimentary shipping is part of our group here at the WYN conference for whoever is watching in person and online. And I look forward to signing my autograph and leaving a little verbiage so that you can be the person that you've always wanted to be, despite of what circumstances or situation that you've gone in your life. And thank you very much. I'd like to leave the stage now. No. Oh, you get the photo. Oh, no. Have your hold your girl. I look. Yes. Stand right here. If you can, step to the side so maybe you can get the code. You know what I mean? Because wherever the photo will be, you still have your QR code. It's all about marketing. Is that good? Perfect. And now everywhere they put the photo, your QR code is there. Okay. That's why it's all about marketing. Thank you. No. You heard Mama Donna? She had her phone in her hand. She wanted to, no. No, get stay. And she did her little lip. Stay. I know. All right, so I'm talking over.
నెక్స్ట్ ఏం చేయాలి అక్కడికి వచ్చి చెప్పాలి కదా లేవు
నెక్స్ట్ టైం లెట్స్ గో ఫర్ లంచ్ బ్రేక్.
చెప్పాలి
తిప్పు ఇంకా అక్కడ.
Okay, so we did Donna, we did Natalie,
Yeah.
so Jacqueline is next, and then Kim is on her way.
Okay.
And then Dr. Vanessa. No, we should have her first. She's going to get on that. We should have her first so she can get it over. Because Kimberly is not here. Jacqueline is here, so we'll let these Jacqueline and then Dr. Vanessa. Okay.
After lunch.
This is my home.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
So, hi, this is Melinda. Hi, this is Melinda. So hope you have enjoyed Natalie's presentation, right? So I we have enjoyed a lot. You can even listen the noise we are doing. The wonderful women are doing here. You can feel that, right? So yes, we are in Dubai, and so this is second day event WYN Womenium Summit. So thank you so much for your beautiful and wonderful presentations. So we will so let's join into the other another session right back at 1 o'clock. So just have your lunch and come back at 1 o'clock, 1 p.m. exactly. So speaker will be waiting at exactly 1 p.m. So don't want to delay this. So as time is running late, so please cooperate with us. So please, so right back at 1 p.m. Good day.